All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy January 28th. I'm coming to you alive, coming to you well, and coming to you truly, truly in a state of gratitude. So for the people that do not know, because it's not something I put on social media yesterday, let me let a few people in. Obviously, I have every reason to be grateful today. My wife had to go into emergency surgery yesterday. The baby is okay. We did an anatomy scan 2 days ago, and baby's good. Baby's healthy. Baby's growing. Baby has a good forearm. All things, right? And so during that anatomy scan, they analyze and measure the cervix. Well, obviously, if the cervix starts to open, then the baby could come and we can have preterm labor, and that's obviously what we do not want. My wife has been through that. Kai was born at 1 pound. Poor Kai had to go through 3 years of surgeries, 4 years of surgeries, spent the first 3 years of her life in the hospital. And so we know what that type of life entails for us and for the child. And so they go in, it's called a cerclage. And what they do is they sew up the cervix. And so the cervix does not open up. Now the baby can cook for a couple more months, and we are hopefully out of the woods, obviously. But she's going to be chilling for the next couple of days, relaxing. She doesn't go back to work until Monday. And so to tell you I'm grateful, I guess that would be an understatement. I'm just really happy that she's good. She's she's in good spirits. It was like literally in and out. I only felt like I was in the waiting room for about less than an hour. And then she was just hungry. All she could think about was dumplings and ramen. So we made that happen last night. So she was a happy camper, but she is home. She is recovering. She is well. And so, to say I'm grateful would be a complete understatement. I'm happy that all things are good with her and the baby. So, yeah.
We're happy too.
What's that?
We are happy too.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. If you're a guest here, you guys, welcome. If I've seen you time and time again, welcome back. I'm going to go over to Miss Ashley. Ashley, I'm going to have you take us out on the field on this beautiful, amazing Wednesday morning. Share your thoughts, and thank you, Yashira. I appreciate that, my friend. Let's go ahead, Ashley, have you bring us out on the field on this amazing morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I am so glad Amanda was okay. My heart literally stopped when you said that. I think most of ours did. So happy she's okay. And on that note, I think, with January and the holidays and getting back into everything, I think life can seem really busy. The news can seem like a lot. And I think just starting the day to slow down and really be grateful for what we have some clarity, and focus on what we can control, I think is a good message to start the day with. There's a lot of chaos. Shut it down, tune it out as much as you can, and focus on the things that we have, control what we can control, and let's kick off a great second half of the week.
I love this. Yeah, it definitely, in times like that, when any of your loved ones go in for a surgery, it's scary. There's all kinds of things that you hear, people going for routine surgery. They don't come out of routine surgery. So obviously we were filled with anxiety, and then it's just like, it's really close to where the baby is. And so I don't know, obviously I was filled with emotion, filled with anxiety, but she's happy. She's relaxing, a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm just so glad that everything went well. And so, you guys, we're going to have a conversation today. This is going to be a continuation of the conversation that we have been having. And I think it's really, really important because I have a responsibility. And for everybody that's on this call, even our guests, I have a responsibility if you're in my orbit. My responsibility is very, very clear. I have a responsibility to impact the growth of the humans that are in my environment. And that could be in multiple ways. It could be mindset. It could be your psychology, obviously. It could be in your business, production, health, business relationships. It's my responsibility as a coach to impact your growth on some level. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing my job. And so in this vein of us continuously getting better and this effort of Kanai is this constant and never ending improvement. I believe in that. And I believe that's why you come to coaching. This is maintenance. This is your tune-up. This is you guys checking in 3 times a week, making sure that you're hitting the gym. This is your gym mentally. And that's how I look at this. And so what I want to do is I want to continue to have this conversation about us restoring the dignity of being great salespeople. Okay. Restoring the dignity of being great salespeople. Listen, I understand that people want to give it whatever type of name, whatever type of title it is, what it is. You are salespeople. And I think the moment that you own that and you grasp that and you understand that being a great salesperson means that I'm a great communicator, It means that I know how to connect at a very high level. And most importantly, when it comes to the sales process, that I understand how to take people through the next stage of the sales process and move them down the funnel. So let's restore the dignity of being great salespeople. I take a lot of pride in that. I have a lot of success in sales, and I think about my success over my career. All I've ever known is sales. All I've ever known is sales. And so I know at times you may not want to call yourself that. Whatever it is, when you strip everything away, we're all salespeople. How do I know? The phone rings right now, $2 million buyer, Berkeley. We want to sell our house in Berkeley. Can you help us out? Every single person on this call would take that phone call, correct? And go out there and do what? Sell that property, right? And so there's instances where I feel that we almost shrink, meaning that when we're in communication with people, we almost start to shrink in the moment because we're trying to conform. We don't want to be viewed as the people that are salespeople. At the end of the day, here's the philosophy that I've been thinking about. It's been keeping me up at night. When you meet a consumer and when we are taking them through the steps of the sales process, whether it's a lead that you're meeting, and then you're going to go for a buyer consultation. You see, what I find and I realize at a very high level is that we have to make sure that we don't have follower and follower mentality, meaning that if a lead comes to us, or an inquiry or a referral, that person is a follower. What I mean is that they need guidance. They need a doctor to lead them through the process. They need someone to prescribe them the next steps, educate them, advocate for them, lobby for them, advocate for them on the highest level. So they are a follower. And who do they need? They need you to be a leader. So you have to think about your own leadership in our industry right now. Are you showing up as a true leader for your consumers, or are you, when you meet them and you're at the property and you're talking about the logical next steps and what's going to happen and what we're going to do and how you're going to guide them through this entire process? Are you meeting them with follower mentality and follower energy, or are you meeting them with leadership mentality and leadership energy? And listen, my friends, I say that energy because that is felt. That is felt when you are in communication with a consumer, when you are on presentation, when you're in that moment. That consumer is going to feel that. And we're going to talk about posture in a moment. We're going to talk about physiology, and we're going to talk about body language, because you have to ask yourself in that moment, what type of frequency, what type of energy, and what type of vibration am I giving off? Am I giving off the vibration of a leader, a teacher, an advocate, or am I just follower and follower? And I think that if we make this distinction, and if we always put ourselves at this place where I have to lead my people throughout this transaction, we're not asking for permission. We're not, would you like to? Would it be okay? Would it be all right? Is that basically maybe so? All these things, you guys, I'm going to hit home on this until I feel that we are all continuously getting better. Brianna, what's the look for, my friend? Chime in. Share with me what your looks are, because all I saw was chicken, Mom. Share with me where you're at in your thoughts right now. Let's go, because I saw your physiology.
Oh, that was the mirror in my face. Because
Okay.
I just had to have this talk with myself on the way to the office the other day, because as Elias busted me out real quick, because that's what a good coach does, holds you accountable, and was like, what's up with your follow-up? He's like, that's not even you. Where's your sass? He's like, you're leaving it open. And I had already had that conversation with myself. So I was like, yeah, you're right. Can't even argue. This is terrible. And guess what? I don't have anything in escrow. So proof is in the pudding, guys. Proof is in the pudding.
Okay.
Yeah, watch what you're saying. Don't leave things open, because if it's open, they're not coming to you. They're gonna go to the person who's closing the deal.
Okay, I appreciate you chiming in. Well, you didn't chime in, you chimed in with your face, which actually leads me to what we're going to talk about right now, which is physiology, body language, and posture. But I want to stay here for a moment. I want you to first off think about how you communicate interpersonally with your friends, with your family, and if you're a parent on this line, how do you communicate with your children? right? They probably get the real you. It's the raw you. Here's what we're going to do. Do this. Clean up your damn room. Close that door. Don't talk back. Like all the things, right? And I think about Brianna. In this case, she is tenacious. She is sassy. She'll tell you exactly how it is. And she might put a little stank on it when she tells you. However, when we analyze our communication, written and spoken, in the nonverbal cues of our communication, our body language, our physiology, and our posture, oftentimes what we're doing is we're reducing that person, meaning we're reducing that tenacious, vivacious, in-your-face, high-spirited person, because what we believe we need to do in that moment is conform. Now what happens is that we're writing in a manner that we don't typically write in. We're asking questions in a very subservient way. Would you like to? No, I told you to close that door and let's move forward, right? And so we're acting as a totally different person. And then when you look at your results, you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't really match up. Because what's happening is that we're trying to conform in that moment. Instead of allowing yourself to shine in those moments, being able to be tenacious, being able to be assertive, what we do is we start to shrink in those moments. We start to become subservient, right? And at the end of the day, what are we here to do? We're here to lead, and we're here to teach, and we're here to advocate for our consumers. And what we allow ourselves to do based on perception is we don't want to push. We don't want to be viewed as salespeople. I promise you, if you don't push, if you are not assertive, and if you are not tenacious, that person will become someone else's lead. And that other person that is assertive, that is tenacious, and has the goal is going to move that person down the funnel. Does that make sense, my friends? Give me a yes, give me a hell yes, give me a reaction on the screen. Okay, listen, I'm fired up because I've been putting a lot of thought into this. Before I go deeper into the conversation, Blessing, did you have something that contributed to the conversation per usual?
Yes. It's interesting because I keep having the conversation with people in my sphere about be you but fast, because I've been rocking my jacket. It's the most comfortable thing I have right now. And they're like, well, what does be you but fast mean? Like, what is that? And fundamentally in this business, there is always that stereotypical realtor box that everyone wants to fit into, or you have to show up like this. And that comes off as fake. Everyone can feel that that's fake if it doesn't resonate with who you are. You cannot be anyone other than yourself if you want to genuinely, organically show up in this business. So you can't fake it. And people pleasing or being scared of the environment that you walk into always causes you to shrink. And you talk about, Brianna saying, looking in the mirror, like this is something that I've been trying to face for a long time, but didn't know exactly how to face it, is that, if you show up small, even if you can still show up in a big way, but you're not showing up 100% yourself, you will come across inauthentic when you do start to open up. Or it's always a question of, you've been this like quiet, shy, amiable person for so long, and now all of this attitude came out. Like, which one is it? Don't confuse people. Just show up as you are. They're either going to like you or they're not, or they're going to be drawn to you and work with you. But you can't compromise yourself. So I really do love this point. And you just have to remember that no matter what industry, what part of life you're going through, just be yourself. Figure out who that is first. Everything else falls into place.
My friend, I appreciate you at a very high level. What I want to do right now is I want to tell you a quick story. I might have shared with you in the past, but let me just share this with you really quick. Back in the days, it was 14 years ago, I was hired to be a public speaker. I worked up in wine country at a beautiful, beautiful resort. It's my responsibility to be the public speaker. Pictures of me all over the resort is kind of weird, but that was my role. So it was cool because I was able to impact a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Well, I remember practicing in a room of nobody or in an empty room. I would practice over and over again. But then what I would do is I would watch presidential debates. And this is going to take me in my conversation about body language. You see, I would watch presidential debates and I would watch how they would carry themselves in these debates when they used their hands to bring home points, how they brought you into their heart. They wanted you to think. They wanted you to hear. They wanted to be open with their communication. I started to watch those things. Now, obviously, when I communicate, I'm Italian. And so a lot of this is innate, this hand movement. But a lot of it is something that I was so conscious of that when I drive home a fact, when I drive home a message, there's so much of what's happening in my posture. You see, when I show up on camera today, and I want to ask anybody to get involved in the conversation, when I show up on camera, what does my posture say about my preparation for today's call? Anybody take themselves off of mute? I would love to hear from you guys.
Strong and prepared.
Strong and prepared. What was that second one? Ready. Yeah, I would definitely agree. I'm prepared. I'm ready. So if I came here like this, you guys, what up? Keep it moving. Oh yeah, dreams and goals and all those vision stuff. You guys ready to roll? Like it would tell you that I'm just lazy. I'm relaxed. I'm like, well, what's this guy doing? Like, you're not going to tune in and listen to me. And so the reason why I want to share this with you, thank you. The reason why I want to share this thought with you is that I've been thinking about this and it's been keeping me up. And first and foremost, you may want to take a picture of this, okay? We take a picture of this, and I'm just going to put it on the screen. And remember how I started off this conversation. Restore the dignity of being a great salesperson. Rock that, speak that, be that person. A great salesperson is just somebody that knows how to communicate well, connects at a deep level, and then is able to set logical next steps in the sales process. That's what a great salesperson is. A bad salesperson, we know who they are. They don't listen, they don't connect, and they try to do things based off of their agenda, not the consumer's agenda. So here's what I want you to analyze. Now, when we think about this, we're going to be breaking this down. We're going to continuously have these conversations because it's important. What I believe that is important is the nuances of the sales process. This is something that I've mastered from the streets to business. I understand the sales process at the highest level, and I understand the communication process at the highest level, but it becomes from practice. So what I want to do right now is I just want to check everybody at the door, and I want you guys to really analyze, and we've been talking about this, and I want to bring this home. I want you to analyze your body language, your physiology, and your posture. And I want to just slow down for a moment. When you guys are at that crossroads in the market, talking to somebody about real estate, when you're at that crossroads of getting them to give you their information so you can follow up with them and you can have them as a lead and hopefully help them find the house or sell their property. In that instance, what I want you guys to do is I want you to be conscious. The more that you do this consciously, your subconscious will take over, but it's going to take some practice. It's going to take some effort. In the moment that you're in Whole Foods and you're talking to somebody about the real estate market and what's happening, we'll get to the market in a few minutes. What does your posture say about your confidence? You see, what happens is that oftentimes we have a posture that does not align with what we are trying to convey. We might have a posture that the smallest little things, the shoulder, I mentioned this the other day, where I'm holding my hand, where are my hands? Are they in my pocket? Am I twiddling my keys? Am I fig leafing? Am I too much of the steeple? Do I have a feeling of like, oh my God, will they say yes? Like, check your own posture. When you guys are at a showing and you're standing in the living room, on a scale from 1 to 10, what did you think about this property? 10, why so high? 2, why so low? At that stage right then, when you know that the very next step in your sales process is to ask for the appointment, check yourself, you guys, check yourself. Do you have a position, a posture, heart to heart, belly to belly, mind to mind? Your shoulders are back, your chest is up, your head is up, and you are confident about taking them to that next step. Or in that moment, in that split second, does something change? Does something change? You know that you're going to ask a tough question, and you might potentially get a no. But when you ask that question, where are you physically? Where is your body language? And what language is your body language speaking? What is it saying about your confidence? Because my friends, each and every one of you have a vibration and you have an energy. In that moment, at that very, very critical part of the presentation, what does your body language say about your ability to take them through the next process? What does your confidence level say? What is the energy levels, what are the energy levels that you're putting off? Do you have a sense of, I am so confident? Are you instantly twiddle fingers? Are you instantly this? Are you instantly having a posture of, would you like to? Does this make sense, you guys? Do you have a posture of, would that be okay? And what you find in these smallest of moments, these smallest of nuances, are the times where we're missing. Because what we don't do is we don't check in with ourselves. So what we need to do is check our posture. How are we showing up? If you've ever been at an event with me, there's rarely a time that I don't say hello to every single person, give everybody a hug, give everybody a handshake. That is something that I do, and I didn't always do it, but it's something that I'm conscious of. When I deliver conversations, when I deliver speeches, when I'm on stage, it is a certain type of posture that I'm very, very aware of. What type of energy am I putting off? Second part of this, what I want you to do is I want you to study your consumers. Because what we do is oftentimes is we're thinking about, what are we going to say? What are we going to say? What are we going to say? And instead of being in the moment and looking at what they're doing, we're thinking about what we are going to be saying. And what happens is that you detach from that moment. So what I want to encourage everybody on this call to do, and everybody that will see this in the future, what I want you to do is I want you to start to evaluate your consumers, and I want you to look at them. I want you to watch them. The moment they stand on that deck and they're overlooking the view of the bay, and the husband puts his hand on her shoulder, he puts his hand on the small of her back, they hold hands, they had a look of, oh, that room was awful. Anytime you see those nonverbal cues, pause for a second. Be like, all right, Ashley, what happened in that moment? I saw you guys out there on the deck. Tell me what came to mind in that moment, right? Oh, I saw that look. I just want to do a quick temperature check. What happened there? I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Is this not the house? Yeah, what was it about it? You guys, I promise you, if you could get very in tune with the vibration of your consumers and watch what they're doing, you're going to find opportunities to create even more business intimacy, even more proximity. But what we fail to do at times is we fail to get completely dialed in with those people, right? And you'll watch it. You'll see, and this is a clear example, you'll see when someone comes to a presentation, they're like this. Maybe it's the husband, Mr. fucking know-it-all. He's a jerk, right? He's like this. So this is unguarded, right? I'm still in what's called my reptilian. I don't want to talk to you yet, right? I don't want to talk to you yet. I'm just going to be closed off. And the moment that this happens is the moment that you've gotten them to open up and you've had what I call the turn, means when you're in rapport. Well, that happens when you remove somebody from their reptilian brain and you move them into their neocortex. That's where language and feelings are associated. Well, once we get there, now you see something happen. Their whole demeanor, their physiology, their body language, their posture starts to change. And so what you're thinking, what you're doing as a skilled salesperson is you are evaluating and you are looking and you're looking for those cues. The moment they hold hand, small of the back, arm over the shoulder, twitching of the fingers, twiddling of the keys, eye contact, look, smile, frown. You're watching everything. And then you're going to pause. Hey, Mama-san, in that moment, I just saw you guys do something. I just want to pause for a quick second. I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I saw you look at your significant other. What happened in that moment? Share with me. And I promise you, they're going to be like, dang, gosh, she's so engaged. She's really, really in tune with who we are. And I know for some of you, this might sound metaphysical or it might sound outlandish, but I promise you, being an expert in this field of sales and communication, this is something that when you're conscious of it, you will see it from a mile away. Be like, wow. And then you'll start to call it. You'll start to call it because you'll see the physiology, you'll see the energy, and you'll start to be able to call it. You're like, wow. Yeah, I called that. Yeah, I could feel it from a mile away. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to first off, check your own posture. In the moment when you're going to ask for a consumer to move through the funnel, what is your posture, right? What is your posture on the phones? I remember back in the days, my very first sales job was in 1997, 98. They gave us mirrors. I worked in this giant call center selling long distance over the phone. They gave us mirrors. And they would make us look at ourselves in the mirror when we were making our phone calls, right? So think about this. Hello. Yeah, hi, Ashley. Hey, Ashley, how are you? It's Elias calling from GLD Group Long Distance. How you doing? Okay. Or, hi. Hello. Hi, Ashley. Ashley, this is Elias calling from GLD. The difference, you could feel it. You could feel it. And so I want you guys to really, really understand your posture, right? When you're making calls, like, where are you at? Where are you at? Because you might not be able to see them, but I promise you that is felt on the other line of those conversations. And so I want to share that thought with you in regards to body language, posture, and physiology. Ashley, I knew you would chime in on this conversation. So my friend, what do you got for us?
I love this conversation. And what I find about posture is it starts in your mind. As humans, we have the tendency of going, oh, what if I get rejected? What if they say no? What if they hang up? What if they don't like what I have to say? What if I don't know the answer to something that they ask? And that's when you get small, right? That's when your voice gets small. That's when, if you don't have that mirror there, you might not be smiling. It always reminds me of something I watched Conor McGregor do. If you don't know who he is a fighter. I watched him get ready for a fight one time on TV, and 80% of it, he said, is in your mind. He would visualize himself winning the fight. What could go wrong? What could happen? How will I overcome it? He would visualize it over and over and over in his mind, not even physically, before a fight to see the outcome. When I used to knock door to door selling security systems, I had a mentor tell me, before you walk up to that door, sit in your car for 10 minutes, visualize you winning that day. Visualize them signing a contract with you. I signed 29 clients in a row selling security systems, like right out the gate as a brand new salesperson. And I did it when I was visualizing the outcome. They're going to love me. This is going to go great. There's so much value here. All the positive affirmations in your mind is so important. If you allow your brain to do what it naturally does as a human and go down that negative loop, that's where you lose. You lose before you even walk in the door. But if you focus and you make your brain see the outcome being positive, you will win far more times than you will lose.
Ashley, God, I appreciate your vantage point on this. Let's go, Brianna. Brianna, what do you got for us, my friend? And if it's spotty, we're going to cut you, then we'll just have your audio, but try.
I feel this to my core, and I wasn't doing it, and it was showing in the way that I was communicating to my clients. And like I said earlier, I had to pull the mirror in front of myself, and I sat down the other day, did my follow-up, sent out things with a smile on my face, with my confidence, with the thought that they're going to respond. I'm getting something in escrow. I'm not continuing down this path of crappy communication. And guess what? People answered phones. I have buyer consults. My pipeline started doing what it's supposed to because I was doing what it was supposed to. I was calling with confidence. I had a smile on my face. I was giving what I want.
You know, Brianna, I'm so happy for you, because we're gonna get into this written communication or verbal communication. What happens is that I see it so much. We're confident, we're excited, we're stoked, we know everything that we need to know. We're going to go out there and prospect, and then the energy changes. It's like we shrink in these moments, right? Instead of allowing our courageous power to stand out, we shrink in these moments. We allow our posture to come in versus out. My shoulders come in because I'm nervous and I'm scared versus this going out. I'm open. My words are would you, could you, maybe, if, possibly, would you like. It's subservient. And then I start to write that way because I don't want to rock the boat, right? See, that's conformity. That's conformity. Like I said, do you have leadership, energy, or do you have I'm a follower energy? And you're meeting all these followers. They need you to be a leader. Whatever Brianna said. Rosanna, let's go to you. Then we'll go to Mama San. Then we'll shift gears in the conversation.
Well, coming back what you were saying about sales, in a implicit way, we are always selling ourselves. Always, all the time. You don't have to be a salesperson to sell something. I learned this when I was reading a book. I remember I was reading a book. I was on the beach and I was reading. The book was The Power of Seduction. And I remember my daughters, Mom, what are you reading? I said, no, it's the power of seduction, because when you want to get something, you have to seduce. Even when you want to ask to your kid, hey, go to the bed at this time, I mean, you have to seduce, and you have to learn, and you have to discover what is the way you have to do with the people to get the things you want to get from them. You are always seducing. When you go to a store, when you go to a restaurant and you want a nice dish, a nice whatever, you always have to be smiling. You are always, for example, the last week I went to the restaurant and I saw the waiter and I said, oh my God, what a beautiful smile you have. And he was attending me so fast, and I have a buyer consultation tomorrow with him. So has to be that way, and everything is energy. Before to make a call or in the morning, I do not start if I do not use perfume. I know that there are people in the other side is not going to smell me, but it's energy. I believe in energy. So,
Rosanna, I absolutely love this. And man, I mean, obviously, I know where your head's going when we think about seducing and seduction, but I think that it's appropriate in normal communication, not trying to get you into the bedroom. It's normal communication. So I appreciate this at a very, very high level. And me too, my friend. I work from home a lot of the time, but I always spray cologne because instantly when I smell it, it puts me in a position that I'm ready to go, right? I'm ready to go. I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to present. So Rosanna, really, really good insights there. I also dropped a book in the chat. Mama San, what do you have for us, my friend?
Same thing after Rosanna was saying. When I'm like with the client, I like to, I square up, I make eye contact. I make them feel like they are the center of my world and engage and listen. Sometimes we just think about what we're going to say next. Take the time, listen, hear what they're saying, and reiterate what they said so that they know that you heard what they said. Another point too, or I was thinking about, is even when we're about to pick up the phone, like for Zillow, right? I'll get a call, I'll take a deep breath, and I pep myself up, and I'll rehearse starting. Hey Elias, hey Elias, hey Elias, and then I'll pick up the phone so that I've got that energy already, and I'm coming with it, and I'm not like, slow. Or anyways. That's kind of.
I love this. I absolutely love this. I remember that I would do this speech over and over again. I learned it from Tony Robbins, and I did it for years. That now it's just ingrained in me. It's part of my subconscious. I now command my subconscious mind to direct me in helping as many people as I can today by giving me the brevity, the humor, the passion, whatever it takes to connect today at the highest level. I command that now. Instantly, I could put myself in a peak state. Well, I demanded that of myself so many times that now it's part of my subconscious. Now it's part of my subconscious. That runs on replay over and over and over again in the back of my mind. But I train myself. I condition myself. Just like Otis is working out in the gym. He's conditioning his body. This is the same principles for conditioning our mind. So last one, before we get into any conversations about the market. Once again, are we rising or are we shrinking in our spoken communication? Are we rising or are we shrinking in our spoken communication? Now, I've said this and I'm going to say it again and again and again. Your verbal graffiti is ruining your sales process. Your verbal graffiti, you know what it is. Would you like to? Is it possible? Can I send this to you? Are you available? Those types of words are soft, they're timid, and they're not leadership mentality. What I want you guys to do is I want you to analyze your verbal communication, also your written, and we've had this conversation, but I want to share this thought with you. Don't write on my whiteboard. I'm going to pull up a whiteboard. Someone always writes on it. So I'm just going to go here with my highlighter, and I've mentioned this before, but I think it's important since we do have guests on the lines today. All right. So let's call this line your speech communication and your speech pattern and your tonality, right? Let's call this basic line of tonality. There we go. Somebody wrote on my it never fails. It never fails. Whoever you are, shame on you. Okay, Shane? Jessica.
I'm sorry, it was me. I think so. I didn't know that I can do that. Sorry, I'm the guest.
Please, nobody touch anything. Let me just bring this point home, all right? So, anyways, the upswing is what a lot of times we do the mistake in our communication. We make this mistake. This is, would you like to? So, possibly, maybe. That's an upswing. And I hear it so much of the time. Would you like to? Would you be able to? Are you free? It is an upswing. So the upswing has a tonality that does not lead the consumer. The downswing is what we all need to master. Here's what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. You said that was important. Here's the next logical conclusion. It is a different tone. It is our chop down versus chop up. You see, chop up leaves room for option. It leaves room for them to choose a yes or no. Are you still looking for a home? Have you seen any homes that you would like to go check out? That's an upswing, right? The philosophy that I teach you guys of here's what we're doing next. I saw this home. Let's go take a look. I'm available at 1 or 2. What makes sense for you? Here's what we're doing. Go through that door, close that door, get yourself on camera. These are all things that are associated with the downswing. And so what we need to do is we need to evaluate our communication and our tone. And we need to evaluate, is our tone coming from a place that is super, super authoritative, powerful, or is our tone soft? And is it an upswing? And there's so many of the things that we do that are associated with our tone. You'll hear this in conversation with me. You'll hear this in your own world. When you're saying things, you shouldn't be like this. I have the same tone. I want to, oh my God, yep, we're going to have some great time. It should never be like this. Never. Your communication should be like this. It should have spikes. It should have valleys. So when you're bringing somebody something home, when you're slowing down, talking about the power of generational wealth and what that means to you guys. And I'm really, really proud of you for taking the step in home ownership. That's me slowing down my tone to truly, truly be present in that moment. And so what we need to do is we really need to evaluate. So at the start of the conversation, we said restore the dignity of being a great salesperson. Well, what is associated with that? Checking our own body language, physiology, and posture, making sure at those crucial moments during our transactions and our presentations that we understand where our body language is, and is that conveying the type of energy that we truly, truly want the consumer to feel. Second part of that was evaluating the consumer's energy, looking at the nonverbal cues, watching them, studying them, understanding what is going on with them so you could best serve them. And then thinking about your own tonality, the way that you communicate, the words that you're using. This is a science, you guys. Communication and sales is a science. And if done properly, what will happen is that you will get yourself in more conversations. What we do is we leave too much unclosed circles. I want you guys to practice this. Behave in a way that you are operating as a leader. Stop with the follower and follower mentality, because then you're just not going to get anywhere. And you're going to find yourself going in circles and you'll be frustrated, that you're not getting more appointments. And so I want to pause there for a quick second. The last thing, we've talked about this, I don't want to reiterate that, your written communication. Once again, does your written communication match up with the energy of you wanting to push someone through the funnel and help guide them? Or are you, once again, shrinking in the moment? Are you shrinking in the moment because you don't want to come across salesy? You don't want to come across pushy? I promise you, if you don't do it, someone else is going to be more assertive. They're going to go on Redfin. They're going to go on realtor.com, and someone that's assertive, that's tenacious, that has authority, is going to get them as their lead, and they're going to take that market share. So my friends, that is your choice. So I want to pause for a quick second. I want to get some thoughts and get some takeaways from people on the call today. Give me any type of insight and contributions. I will go to one of our guests. Michelle, you had responded in the chat down below. Michelle, welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching. We'd love to hear your thoughts and insight based on the conversation thus far. Let's roll.
Hi, nice to meet you all. I am Michelle. I am just getting started into my licensing and schooling. Thank you, Brianna. But I'm huge on manifestation. I love the law of attraction. I'm constantly thinking about if you put out positive energy or positive thoughts, positive vibes are going to come back to you. So I like to go into any aspect of my life thinking about all the positive things rather than what possibly could go wrong. Let's think about all the things that can go right.
Yeah, Michelle, what a wonderful place to be. What a wonderful mindset to have. And I appreciate you
you.
being here. And thank you for contributing, because it's tough in these situations sometimes for people to throw their hands up and say something that sounds really powerful. That was that. So
Thank you.
thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If I can support you in any way along your journey, please let me know. And I'm here to serve you at the highest level. So I appreciate you.
I look forward to joining more calls. So thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's go to two more contributions. Let's go to Chris B. Chris, I know that you're on the road, but you always have a contribution. And Johannes, I'd love to hear from you, big dog. We don't hear much from you on this call, so I'm going to call on you next. So Chris B., give me a thought, contribution, insight on the conversation thus far.
Yes, it's a great conversation this morning. You just got to realize, people are just the biggest investment they're going to make, and people want to be led. You got to lead them, and you got to set expectations. You got to ask the right questions and match their tone. It's all the little things. You meet somebody, you got to stand up strong and give them direction. You got to ask them about the whole process. Like right now, I'm going to meet a brother in Gold, and I never met that in person yet, but we've been having great conversations already. I've got him set the expectations of what we're going to do. He gave me the story. So right when I meet him, I'm going to, ask about a pre-approval. And the next step, you need to get with a lender. We need to do a business consultation. So I'm pretty blunt and straightforward. I don't know if you're going to work with me or not. Because if you're not going to work with me, I'm not going to waste my time with you. So I want to know up front, because I got a bunch of leads, but I need to filter them out to the A, B, C's, and D's. And I want to spend my time with people that open up. And when you come and you're straightforward with people, they're going to open up. At first, feel you out. When you need and you take their hand and you show them what to do, and next thing you know, they're totally open up with you. And every conversation, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and they start opening up and letting you know exactly everything about their life. Once you get to that point, you got them hooked. And you just gotta work with that same type of energy every single time. Then you'll stack escrows. The four deals I have in escrow right now, two are open houses, and two are for referrals. So, in order to do the volume in this market, you gotta mix your referrals with chasing prospecting leads. That way, you can get a state of abundance. In order to do that, you gotta lead people. You can't be timid. You gotta lead people and separate them from the ones that want to work with you and the ones that are kind of just tip-tapping around. So just be confident out there, everybody, and open up, be straightforward, match your tone and tonality, and close that deal and make it happen.
That's right, Chris. Always have words of wisdom, man. Thank you. Let's go over to Johannes. Johannes, let's get a key thought, key takeaway from our time together today thus far. We'll go over to Otis, and then we'll get one more person. Let's go, Johannes.
Hey, Elias, thank you for choosing me. Yeah, main thing is just be assertive, right? A lot of times we tend to be their friends because it's human nature. You want to be nice so you won't lose a client. But, a lot of times, like I'll call someone and say, hey, is this a good time to talk? And they'll just hang up. No, it's not. So, yeah, you're pretty much just leading them, right, with your body language and assertiveness. So, yeah, following up to what Chris said, be assertive, be a leader. Don't be nice. We're not there to be their friends. We're there to lead them as the experts. And that shows off with the body language and assertiveness.
Yeah. Okay. So we talk about verbal graffiti, verbal pollution. That, if he can eliminate that, is now a good time. That is a yes or no question that gives the consumer an instant out. No, it's not a great time. Oh, okay. And then you're playing catch up. I'm going to be really brief. I know you're busy. I saw that you just looked at 123 Main Street. I'm setting down my tours for today and tomorrow. What time do you want to go take a peek? Or, Tom, I just came across this article. I thought you would find it interesting. I'm going to text that over to you. When's a good time for you and I to talk, today or tomorrow? Right? Like just be assertive. What we do, forgive my language, ladies, is we pussyfoot around the actual close. We pussyfoot around it. Like, restore the dignity of being closers. There's nothing wrong with that, you guys. I am a closer through and through, and I am so proud of where I've come in business as a salesperson because of my ability to close. I'm really proud of it. Let's go, Otis. What do you have for us? Then we'll go to our guest in the chant, and then we will start to come full circle in the conversation. What do you got, Otis?
I wanted to come back to what Chris was saying. I see so many agents, whether they're seasoned, obviously more so newer agents, spend so much time with clients, masking because maybe they don't have too much in the pipeline, or maybe that, this is the hottest lead they have, but you can't compromise your morals and your professional conduct to suit someone else. So I think that it's best, like Chris said, you got to funnel people down. If they're A, they're hot, they're ready, they're approved, they get to the front of the list. B, C, and D, you're going to have to work your way up because, no pun intended, but blessing. I've showed you 20 homes. Yes, I know we have this BBR signed for 30 days, honey, but, every time that we go out here, it switches up. We go from, we want to look at this fixer, we can fix things up, to we want to go here to 650 for a brand new construction house. I did this yesterday with my own family. I have two people sitting on $1 million, and it's like trying to hamper them about, hey, look, this is what people do. So we went and seen their version. We went to go see my version, and you're like a Picasso. You're painting a picture. You paint your picture, but you also can't let your feelings or your emotions get into things. So you have to step up sometimes, be a little aggressive. When people partner with me, sometimes I know if you partner with me, you've seen me get a little aggressive in negotiations or whatever. But that's the reason why I'm able to close things, because sometimes people need that push. Sometimes they need someone to come in and be an asshole. Hey, Elias, I get what you're saying, but if we do this in scenario, we're going to find ourselves out of this deal. Just like last time where you didn't want to come up 5,000, but now you're ready to throw $30,000 at this home, and when we probably don't even know it, maybe you need 60,000. So just being able to funnel down, and funnel up, and understand that, although you do work for these people, you have a hard line to be able to dictate how you work for them, when you work for them, and then the ending of working for them. So just making sure you do those things in the right way.
Good stuff, man. Really good stuff. I appreciate you per usual, man. Let's go to Nishant. Nishant, let's go. Big dog, what do you got for us? Key thoughts, key takeaways from our time.
I have a question, actually. So is it what you're saying is it similar to like when somebody comes to a bar and asks like, surprise me with a drink, and then you ask them questions about like, what do you like, vodka, gin, and then you lead them to the drink? Is it similar to that, what you're saying, like in terms of guiding people?
Yeah, I think if someone in this instance, someone comes to the bar, like, oh, well, I don't really know what I like. Okay, cool. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. You like vodka or you like tequila? I like tequila. Do you like sweet or do you like sour? I like sour. I got you. I'm going to put something together for you. Right. It's just like taking charge of that conversation. Right. I think like so many of us are fearful of taking charge in communication. And that's where we miss opportunities. Remember, leadership first. Leadership doesn't mean that you're a manager. Leadership means that I'm going to lead my consumers, because each of the consumers, they're followers. They need a doctor. That's why they came to us. So go be a doctor and lead them. Tequila or vodka, sweet, sour. You like salt, you like sugar. Wonderful. I'll make you something really quick.
Okay.
Took charge of that.
Thank you.
Took charge of that. A girl doesn't want a guy coming. Would you maybe possibly a little date? Maybe a little French kiss? No, it's okay. Maybe next time. No, fucking assertive. Assertive. That's my point here, you guys. So that's my thoughts. That's my contribution for the day. We're not going to talk too much about the market because we just don't have that time. But I want you to analyze. I want you to analyze and be real with yourself. Record a buyer consultation. Listen to your buyer consultation. What is your tone? What is your speech pattern? What is your use of verbal graffiti? Ums, ohs, so, like, pause word, filler word, all these things. I want you to check your posture in those critical moments when you're talking with a consumer. Does that energy say that, yes, I want to go with you. I'm confident. I want you to look at your verbal communication. Are you shrinking in the moment? Are you powerful in your words? Are you powerful in your words? We cannot shrink. All we can do is walk in our strength. We are not here to conform. We are here to show people our strength and lead them. We're not here to be timid. We're not here to be soft. We're not here to pussyfoot around. We're here to help guide them towards the largest transaction in their entire life. They need somebody that's going to be bold, someone that's going to be courageous, somebody that's going to be assertive, and somebody that is going to stand on the pillar of leadership. Come with me. I've got you. I promised you I got you. Let's go around the room, get a couple key thoughts and key takeaways from our time together today. TT, let's go over to you. Then we'll go over to Alex and we'll go to Alexis. Let's go, TT. What do we got for them?
Shout out to Rosanna. I love accents, and that hit home because the way you talk to people really does make you lead, and everybody has to be themselves. So Rosanna, you need to put that accent on everyone because everyone's going to do what you say when you talk to them. So that's definitely a takeaway for me, and your posture and how you talk to people is a takeaway. I teach Zumba, and I put someone on Front Street yesterday, and I blame you, Elias, because I was like, oh no, my coach does this to me, and I sure did put her on the spot. When I was teaching, she asked a song for me to do. She requested a song that I didn't want to do, actually, because I was ready to go. And I said, I'll only do it if you dance with me. She came up and danced with me, and she got off the stage halfway through it. I was like, no, you did not just give up. So I finished the song, and then I put her on Front Street. I said, look, you have children, and so do I. Do you give up in front of your children? Are you teaching people that way? She's like, no, she felt a little weird. But I let her, she's like, next week, she said it in front of everyone. Next week, I will be on stage and I will do a song with you. So it's all about your delivery, how you guide people and tell them what to do. I know it's Zumba, but it also relates to real estate. I'm going to tell you what to do. And you're not going to quit. We're going to keep going. You asked for this, so I'm going to help you get there in my Rosanna voice.
Man, listen to Coach TT. I love this, my friend. Well said. I appreciate that. But this is life. This is life. Those that are bold, those that are assertive, those that are courageous are going to get the things that they want in this beautiful thing that we call life. I've been getting free stuff since I was 6. I had a tab at the local taco shop at 15 years old. I had never any ability to pay that tab. Carne asada burritos, carne asada fries, rolled tacos. I would just come in like, we got you. We'll put it on the tab. I didn't even fucking have a tab, but I drew up a tab for months. I get free food. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. But I appreciate that, TT. Let's go over to Alex, and then we're going to end with Alexis.
All right, I just want to add on to it. When you're talking about leading, everybody has their own styles. And me being more of a monotone person, when you explained the tone has to be like this, I immediately thought of a heartbeat. When you watch somebody's pulse on the monitor, it's pulsing, it's going up, it's going down. And if you're speaking monotone, you have no heartbeat, you have no life in your voice. And then another thing that when it comes to leading, everybody in their individuality has their styles. You can lead someone easily by the line of questioning. You keep bumpers on the conversation and get it directed to where you need it to go without them feeling like they're being dominated. And it's a little easier to get somebody where they want to go when it's their choice, but you basically held their hand and walked them to the end of the line. So they're the two additions that I kind of thought of while you were talking.
Man, Alex, really, really intuitive takeaways. I appreciate that. And I always look at you guys as litigators in court. You're going to ask leading questions to get to the end result, right? That's what a lawyer does, is they ask a series of leading questions to get to the end result that they desire. That's what we do in our own ways. Alexis, take us home, my friend. Key thought, key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
I have two key thoughts and takeaways. I think the first one was similar, which was the tone. I took like a, what is that called? A public speaking class in college one time. And he told the class, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but majority of the women, when they talk, sometimes they talk in a question like, I'm Alexis, not really being sure about your name and the way you speak or your tone. And so it was just like a great reminder to not do that, to be firm and confident and assertive with yourself when you're talking. So that was just like a good reminder for me, because sometimes I do revert to that, which is like not being too sure by just the way I'm talking or my tone, which connects to like my second point. I have a client right now, and he always reminds me, like, you're the expert. We'll go with what you say. We will listen to what you say and tell us to do. So kind of going back on that of like, you are the expert. You know how to close this. Like, you got this, you know? So yeah, just being firm in that and knowing that you are the expert. They're looking at you. You know your stuff, you know your ish, and just be bold in that. So yeah.
God, I love this. Appreciate your takeaways on this. Leadership first, you guys. Leadership first. You can't have two followers working together because you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. Leadership first. Check your posture. Analyze your verbal communication. Remove your verbal graffiti. Think about your tone. And then analyze your written communication. And if you do this, and if you're honest with yourself, you are going to find opportunities. And when you fix those challenges that you have throughout your communication, posture, body language, and physiology, I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, you will book more appointments. And when you book more appointments, my friends, you're going to make more money. It's just inevitable. It's math. So listen, I appreciate you guys' contributions. Like I said, I'm fired up this year. I got tons of things that I want to deliver to you guys to make sure that you guys are all growing and you're getting better and you guys are truly, truly putting yourself in a position to change your family's life. That's what I want for you. Growth is at the center of everything that I'm doing. So you guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I respect you. And as always, my friends, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision and make today a day that truly matters. Peace, my friends.